Nicki don't need to worry about Don. She need to be with damn Don Lemon, and Nicki Minaj needs to be worried about Chris Hansen. She needs to be worried about.
Trump's rule, she should be deported because I don't think, reportedly, that she is a legal citizen here. She is undocumented.
Nicki Minaj has been moving like everything is perfectly fine, like the walls around her empire aren't slowly closing in.
A U.S. Weekly broke the news that Nicki Minaj's house is at risk of being seized due to.
From the outside, it looks calm, but behind the scenes, the pressure has been building. This is the queen of the barbs, the same artist who once dominated the charts with every release, nearly losing a massive mansion over drama that had nothing to do with music. We're talking about her Hidden Hills estate, a full luxury property that almost slipped away over legal issues that spiraled out of control. And this is where things take a sharp turn. The entire situation traces back to an incident that hit harder than any diss track ever could. Back in 2019, while Nicki was overseas performing in Germany, her husband Kenneth Petty was allegedly involved in a heated backstage altercation with a security guard. According to reports, the confrontation left the guard with a serious jaw injury, and the fallout was immediate. The guard hired a lawyer and filed a lawsuit against both Kenneth and Nicki, citing medical expenses, emotional distress, and the legal chaos that followed. Instead of showing up and addressing the case directly, they allegedly failed to appear in court, allowing the situation to snowball even further.
Nicki Minaj's brother and his attorneys thought he would be walking out of court a free man today. Jelani Mirage was convicted last November of repeatedly raping an 11.
They straight up ghosted the situation, like it wasn't a serious court problem knocking at the door. This wasn't pocket change either. This was real money and real consequences. The court didn't play around. A judge dropped a $500,000 judgment and approved moves to go after assets, no hesitation. That Hidden Hills mansion was literally days away from being seized and sold off like a repo car sitting on borrowed time. We're talking seconds from disaster. Then Nicki swooped in at the very last minute with the check. But let's not spin that into a power move. That wasn't boss energy, that was panic. That was survival mode, plain and simple. And let's be real, this wasn't about protecting a legacy. It was about stopping the damage caused by her husband's nonstop chaos. Because this wasn't a one-time slip, this was a pattern. Kenneth Petty isn't just some unpredictable partner, he has a serious legal past, strict restrictions on where he can go, and trouble seems to follow him everywhere. And Nicki stays right beside him, smiling through it like it's not pulling her reputation down a dark road. And it doesn't stop there. Her family history has also raised eyebrows for years, with people still side-eyeing how certain situations were handled publicly. This isn't guilt by association anymore. It's repeated choices, over and over again. Fans aren't slow. They see it. Nicki's image used to scream power, independence, and dominance, but that shine has been fading. Now it's lawsuits, courtrooms, and mugshots in the headlines. Every time she chooses loyalty over logic, it takes another chunk out of her brand. People aren't just critiquing the music anymore, they're watching the company she keeps. The woman who once wore the Barbie crown and turned it into mogul status is starting to look less like a boss story and more like a warning wrapped in pink fur and diamonds. She once had the game in a chokehold. Now she's gripping whatever's left. The designer labels are still loud. The Instagram caption's still bold. But behind the glam, people see the cracks forming.
This is what I'll say to Nicki Minaj. I normally don't respond to things like this, but, F it, I'm gonna do it this time. I think Nicki Minaj has made it very clear how she feels about African Americans in this country, or I don't think she's one of them, obviously. And she should, under Trump's rule, she should be deported because I don't think, reportedly, that she is a legal citizen here. She is undocumented. And so she has shown her disdain for African Americans. So why are you supporting her? Why are you buying her records? She's also supporting, I have lots of gay friends who love Nicki Minaj. Why are you supporting this homophobic, bigoted?
The headlines don't say queen of rap like they used to. Now it's court trouble, legal headaches, and money issues tied to her name. And while Nicki stays smiling like it's another world tour, the industry is whispering. Is this the slow fall of an empire? Just when people thought she couldn't flip the plot any harder, Nicki shocked everyone and sent the internet spinning. She popped up at AM Fest of all places. Yeah, that same conservative rally, heavy with red hats and MAGA energy. Walking in confident like she's been on that side the whole time. Suddenly she's front and center, arm in arm with Erica Kirk, the wife of Charlie Kirk, looking like she traded pink wigs for red, white, and blue real quick. Nicki was giving full political makeover vibes, heavy on the patriotic look like she stepped straight into campaign season. Then came the posts, Bible verses, scripture-heavy captions, talk about values and faith, like she was stumping in Texas instead of promoting music. It was a whole shift and people noticed. Because let's pause for a second. This is the same Nicki who once spoke openly about immigration struggles, the same woman who said she came to the US as a child without papers. Now she's aligning herself with circles known for pushing strict anti-immigration policies like it's a competitive sport. That's not growth, that's a hard identity flip. And it's not subtle either. It feels desperate. The charts aren't hitting like before. Big endorsements are slowing down, scandals keep piling up. Now it looks like she's testing MAGA money as a comeback lane. But here's the risky part. That crowd keeps receipts too, and they don't forget easily. Her old tweets are still up, the past videos are still circulating, the lyrics that built her whole career haven't gone anywhere, and the fans she seems to be brushing off now, they're louder than any press run. They're the ones who made her, and now they're the same ones calling her out for selling out. Then DL Hughley stepped in like a wrecking ball, and he didn't come with jokes. He came with facts. No shade, just a breakdown of what a lot of people were already thinking. DL made it clear this isn't about haters. He said Nicki's downfall is about choices, about putting loyalty to men over her own legacy. He criticized her for standing by Kenneth Petty and for going after Don Lemon without even taking in the full context of what was said. Nicki fired back fast. She misquoted, pulled things out of context, and flooded social media with screenshots like she was doing damage control in real time. It wasn't strategic, it was chaotic. Things got even uglier when she started throwing personal shots while claiming she was standing on religious values. The contradiction was loud. Social media caught it instantly. People weren't saying she was protecting her peace. They said she was protecting chaos and calling it a blessing, using religion and politics as armor to dodge the real issue. A brand clearly in meltdown mode. And the hardest truth? This doesn't look like healing at all. She's spiraling, and every move makes it louder.
So you can see the protesters here have gathered over here. They're in the middle of the church. In the beginning of the church service, the pastor was speaking, and Nicki stood up and said her piece, and then the protesters surrounded her. But this is a clandestine mission. I think they found out one of, according to them, this is according to Operation Pull-Up, that one of the pastors here is a member of ICE, and so
every post, every alliance, every headline just adds more weight. The public isn't slow. They see the contradictions stacking up like unpaid bills. One minute she's the people's queen, the next she's throwing shots at the same crowd that lifted her up. This isn't a rebrand. It's a crisis playing out in real time. And the more she talks about values, the clearer it gets. She's not preaching, she's reaching. Let's be honest, this isn't the first time Nicki Minaj has clapped back under pressure, but this time feels different. The heat is heavier and the damage cuts deeper. This storm is way bigger than music. This isn't just beef anymore. This one comes with legal bills, properties on shaky ground, stalled brand deals, and fans left confused. While she's linking up with political influencers, flashing flags, posting verses, and smiling through it like it's a fresh era, she's missing something major. The people who built her weren't executives or fashion insiders. It was the day ones, the LGBTQ+ community that showed up early. Immigrants who saw their own stories reflected in hers. Black women who rode with her through every era, from Beam Me Up Scotty to Pink Friday. Now they're scrolling, pausing, asking questions. The betrayal feels loud. Fans are piecing it together, watching her trade respect for relevance. This isn't a political pivot, it's a panic pivot. Even her most loyal supporters are starting to whisper. The love is still there, but the blind loyalty isn't. They see the desperation behind the polished photos and over-edited stories, and they know something's off. She's out here posing on red carpets like court papers aren't quietly stacking at her front door. Behind the designer gowns and polished captions is someone dodging the wreckage instead of rebuilding from it. No matter how glossy the pictures look, the cracks are still showing and they're loud. This isn't about values, it's about survival, and the survival play is obvious, and it's backfiring. Every time she tries to smooth things over with a tweet or a post, the contradictions come back even louder. One breath she's quoting scripture, the next she's throwing shots at people who once had her back. It feels like she's trying to remix her entire image without clearing the samples. Now the call-outs are everywhere. DL Hughley may have been the loudest voice, but he's far from alone. Social media is flooded with people asking the same question. What happened to Nicki? This isn't hate. It's confusion, disappointment, and disbelief. She says it's about values, but the public isn't buying it. It looks less like conviction and more like convenience. And the pastors and politicians she's cozying up to, they aren't protecting her. They're using her as a shiny distraction. That's not cover, that's camouflage. And camouflage never works forever. When you live in the spotlight this long, people start seeing straight through the act. The contradictions flash like sirens now. You can't claim righteousness while throwing low blows at the same communities that helped lift you up. The same people who bought the albums, screamed the lyrics, and waited in line for concerts are now feeling played. And for what? A grab at a new audience that doesn't even line up with who she's always said she was? It's not adding up. The conversation isn't about bars or hits anymore. It's about respect. And that's something money can't buy back. Nicki Minaj isn't just risking a flop, she's risking fading out. You can have the cars, the jewels, the millions, but when your core fan base goes quiet, that's a whole different kind of bankruptcy. Her name used to stand for something. Now it's wrapped in lawsuits, clout chasing, and non-stop contradictions. The damage runs deeper than bad press. It's reputational, it's personal. She went from setting trends to chasing them, from being the blueprint to looking like a warning sign. And the wildest part, even some of her ride or die supporters are stepping back, watching with raised eyebrows. This isn't just backlash, it's heartbreak. What she thought would be a reset only exposed how lost she looks right now, reaching for relevance in all the wrong places. If she doesn't stop trying to rewrite her legacy and actually face the truth, she risks becoming just another cautionary tale wrapped in designer fabric. The clock is ticking and this saga is getting deeper by the day. If you want more tea, more truth, and the stories they don't really want you hearing, make sure you hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. Share this video so others can see what's really going on. We've got receipts, we've got pressure, and trust me, this story is far from over. I'll see you in the next one.